Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
How deep into this are we going to go today?
As deep as we can go in the space of 2 hours. I'm willing to allocate 2 hours max to this entire discussion.
Okay, because I was going to say, like, if we're going to start going into the fucking side games in depth, like, that's going to take six whole episodes.
Side games?
Well, as
What do you
in
mean
not
side games.
As in not 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, we shouldn't even have a conversation. We have to go into each game. Each game is important.
But how in depth are we going to go in each game?
As in depth as you would like me to go. I can tell you about characters. We can go game by game. We could go by chronological timeline. We could go by real world releases. We can do whatever you want to do. Really, this is a learning experience for you. It's a refresher for me, and it is a crazy cultural insight to everyone who maybe doesn't know what the hell a Kingdom Hearts even is.
Look, here's my first question.
Okay, we'll start it off with a couple of questions that you have for me just out of the gate, and then I'll be like, maybe I know the answer.
Actually, I was thinking, alright, you know what, let's just start the episode. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Bitter Chatter. He's Bitter, I'm Chatter. But this week, I think we're probably going to end up switching roles here, because we're discussing, we've hinted at this a few times in the last few episodes, at just how ridiculous this series is, and today we are going to just jump in the deep end and talk about the wild world that is Kingdom Hearts.
Sounds like a Kadikarus video. The wild, depressing world of Kingdom Hearts games.
I have never played a Kingdom Hearts game, and Brooks has played at least most of them.
Now here's a question. Is that by virtue of you being a Microsoft guy? You've only ever had Xboxes, right?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit in the video games episode a while back, but like when Kingdom Hearts 1 first came out, I was definitely interested and I wanted it, but I didn't have a PlayStation 2 at the time. So,
which is incredibly disappointing.
Yeah, yeah.
You missed out on a great library, but you did have Halo, so I don't know.
Right. Well, that was before I even got an Xbox. But yeah, the point still stands. I just never got around to playing any of the Kingdom Hearts games. Now, I've watched full playthroughs of the first and second one. I haven't seen the second in a long time, but I did see the first one again recently. So I do have some questions to start off, and also I wanted to like give you what I know and see.
Let's start off with what you've so far figured out. Or stuff that I've told you that you've held on to. Very specific information.
Figured out is a generous way of phrasing it. Here's what I remember.
Has anyone ever really figured out Kingdom Hearts?
The first one, it starts with these children that live on an island. It seems by themselves, but parents are referenced to, so I don't get that immediately.
There's also parents, they're just not on screen and also incredibly unimportant.
Apparently so.
It doesn't matter.
They also live on this island with adults from other games, like Waka from Final Fantasy X.
No, they're children.
Okay.
They are childrenized versions. They have Tidus, Waka, and Selphie, I think her name is. She's from Final Fantasy VIII, which is weird that she's just grouped in with these two, but nevertheless, they are childrenified versions to fit in with the main cast.
Waka still looks and sounds like an adult, so that's weird to hear, but okay.
No, he's definitely a child.
Okay.
At the most, a young adult, but the idea is that the main island, Destiny Island, is like an offshore island, and then there's like another island. It's like an archipelago, right?
Oh.
So there's like a main thing, but then this island is just like a getaway, like a hidey hole, you know?
Just a little hangout spot for the kids, I guess?
Yeah, basically. They get on there with a boat, I think. It's not really clear because that's only ever like alluded to in cutscenes from the second game. Sorry.
I was gonna say I never even gathered that much information.
I shouldn't say the second game because it is Kingdom Hearts 2, but that's the fourth game, technically, I think.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah, so basically Destiny Islands is the main world that the main characters are from, but it only really focuses on one tiny island.
And then the world starts exploding because the darkness shows up. And it's revealed in other cutscenes throughout the game that basically the darkness is like... Okay. From what I get, the darkness is eating worlds and, like, regurgitating them into this void that we can travel through thanks to the gummy ship, because otherwise the game doesn't work. But yeah, the darkness is eating worlds.
Yeah, the darkness is there's the basic concept of having light and having dark. The darkness is obviously the evil. Oh, but is it really? Yes, it is. It's framed consistently as the evil narrative force that corrupts people and destroys worlds. So yeah, you got that basic concept of darkness basically taking worlds over, and you have to go and save them from being put into oblivion and being forgotten about forever.
And I think if the darkness swallows up people, they lose their heart and become heartless?
You're kind of correct.
I don't know. Because then in the second... I'll get back to the first game, but then in the second game they introduce the concept of nobodies, and I don't really get that.
So here's the concept with that, okay?
Whoa, we can get to that in a second. I want to finish what I know about the first game.
Universe.
I want to finish what I know about the first game first. Because...
The first two games, clearly.
Mickey Mouse is the king of...
King Mickey.
I guess just Disney World, but...
Yeah.
But so he leaves. He leaves a note for Minnie that's like, bye. And he's like, I gotta go help people. I don't know.
He has to go save the collective worlds from darkness, because there's more than one world.
Right. And then Sora just gets a Keyblade because God wants him to have it.
Oh, man. I mean,
it just shows up. Like, I wish I could say somebody gives it to him because he's the chosen one. It just shows up.
Well, no, that is what it is.
Like, I guess, yeah, that is like a chosen one thing, but it just materializes. Like, I don't know where it comes from. So, that happens. Also on the island, he has his friends Riku and a girl, and...
Hey, Kairi, come on.
Kairi.
I mean, to be fair, she does fuck all. Like, she is purely a narrative plot point. Like, she's barely a character, and it's really bad.
Everybody likes Kairi. Nobody likes Riku. Riku gets...
No, not true.
Well...
This is just a fan and fucking comedy interpretation that you've had, clearly.
He's a rival character, so like they fight each other to like name the boat and to give a fruit that means something to Kairi.
The Palpu fruit, yes. If you share it with someone, it means that your destinies are intertwined, like soulmates or some shit.
Right. Then the darkness shows up on their little island, and Riku's like, "I'll fight it," and then he gets swallowed by the void.
He opens the door to darkness under the influence of the main villain.
I don't know what that means, but we'll get into that when we get into you explaining stuff.
All right.
Because that's such a vague concept that's never elaborated on in the first game anyway.
Lies.
I don't know what it means.
That's a different
I've watched that game several times and I cannot gather what the fuck that means.
Well, yeah, you've watched it, but you've never played it. Like, you've watched a different, like, not a whole interpretation of it.
No, I've watched full playthroughs of it.
Who played it?
SSOHPKC.
Who?
I talked about him on an episode where we were talking about the internet. He was like one of the first Let's Players I ever really got into, but when I got really into him, like I watched his playthroughs of the first two games. So, yeah, Sora gets into the void, and then fucking Mickey Mouse sends Donald and Goofy to go guide
his
whoever...
His most trusted subordinates. technically, like, Goofy is like the captain of the guard, and Donald is like the court mage or something.
Yeah, Goofy is Shield Boy, Donald is Magic Boy.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I'll get into that later. But because the
Which is
beginning of the
weird.
first
Well,
game
yeah.
is like pick sword, magic, or shield, and then you can pick any of them, but it doesn't matter what you pick because you still get someone who's got shield and magic, so you're implied sword anyway. I don't get what the point of that is.
The point is that it's to do with stats and.
But why? Fuck it.
What? No, it's a way that you level up in the game. It determines like a sort of path that you take.
Why not give you a much more straightforward question for that instead of pick sword, magic, or shield, which explains nothing?
It's fantasy, unique, weird, crazy Kingdom Hearts.
A game should make sense to play, but all right.
Okay, you need to drop that attitude, first of all.
No, I'm not even talking about the story.
Kingdom
That's a
Hearts.
gameplay thing. I'm not talking about the story at this point. I'm talking about the gameplay aspect of it. That makes no fucking sense from a gameplay perspective because the game doesn't explain itself. That directly affects how you level up, and you have no idea how.
You do, though.
How? No, how? It doesn't say, if you do this, you'll level up this way. It doesn't say that. I've watched that segment.
You have to look it up.
That's not the game. That's my point. The game doesn't tell you that.
Doesn't matter to me.
I don't know how. You're very nitpicky about things like that, so I don't know
It
why you're
doesn't
letting this
matter,
slide.
like, actually. Like, you finish the game either way. It's just you get there in a slightly different way. You learn different spells sooner or later. Or you have more defense at various points, or you have more attack at various points. Like, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't change your experience of the game that much.
I feel like that does matter, but anyway. So yeah, they show up and they're in this, I don't know, little fucking town that, I don't know where it's from.
It's Traverse Town. It's a unique world made for the Kingdom Hearts
Oh,
franchise.
okay, it's unique to that.
It's full of various Disney and also Final Fantasy characters. Which is
the
very
three
weird.
meet each other, and also Squall from Kingdom Hearts 8 calling himself Leon.
And the Final Fantasy 7 characters as well, except for the main ones. Aerith, Yuffie, and
Yeah,
Sid.
Yuffie.
Yeah. Tifa, Cloud, and Sephiroth are in the game, but not at this part. It's very weird.
Where's Tifa?
She shows up in Kingdom Hearts 2
Oh.
as like a companion piece to Cloud's story in that game.
And yeah, after that, once your three characters meet up, it's just going from world to world, opening doors.
Yeah.
And fighting Heartless and getting to Riku. That's the plot.
Basically, yeah.
And then when at the end you fight a guy named Ansem, and he's like, I control Riku with the darkness, sort of. And then when you beat him, I think Sora goes in a big door where Riku is. And then the game ends.
Yeah.
And they don't say what the fuck's going on. I mean, they say it in the vaguest of terms, but there's no real, like, what is going on.
No, they explain it. At least in the
They say, oh, it's the door, it's the Kingdom Hearts door.
Yeah.
But what does that mean?
Kingdom Hearts. What do you mean? What do you mean? What does that mean? It's just the Kingdom Hearts is there, and then the door is there, and then
But
you open
what
the
is
door, and
it?
Kingdom Hearts is there. What is what?
Kingdom Hearts!
That's a loaded question.
But the game, that's what I'm saying, it doesn't answer that.
No, it does. It answers it, but it's like the source of all of light.
That means nothing, but anyway.
Oh, fuck off.
Dude, you tell me this game is stupid. Why are you suddenly like, oh no, it makes perfect sense. What are you talking about?
No, because the basic core fundamentals are like bits that we understand. Like, you're just saying, oh, that's stupid.
It is.
It's not. There are stupider things. Believe me. You're gonna have an aneurysm when we get to various parts.
And then in Kingdom Hearts 2, really all I remember is the introduction of Nobodies, because you start the game as a character named Roxas, which is an anagram of Sora with an X in it, because I guess that's how the naming convention of Nobodies is. And they also introduced the, like, what's it called? Organization 13?
Yeah, well, technically it's introduced in a earlier game.
Oh,
With
of course
like
it
half
is.
of the members, but then Kingdom Hearts 2 introduces like the other half. Because
Yeah,
Kingdom Hearts
it's-
2 isn't the second game.
And they wear these weird robes that Mickey Mouse also wears, so I don't know if that's supposed to mean something. I don't remember if that's a thing. But
Those, the black coats, they make you travel through darkness without being affected by it. Basically means you can travel between worlds, like with portals and stuff.
okay. And then it's explained after you spend I don't know how many hours with Roxas that, oh, this is a nobody.
Maybe 2 hours, I think, if that.
This character is actually like a shell of Sora, because when someone becomes a Heartless, you get separated into a Heartless and a nobody, and I don't remember what the fuck that means. Like, I don't remember what I don't know how that works.
I can tell you.
And that's really all I know.
You have a very, very basic, fundamental understanding of it.
So just take it from here. Go take us in order. What the fuck happens in this fucking series?
Alright, so first game is basically mainly about darkness and the Heartless and Ansem and traveling to different worlds.
Also at some point, I don't know when, the villain changes from Ansem to Xehanort, and I don't know I don't know.
We'll get to it. We'll get
Sure.
to it. Don't worry. There's a reason for that.
I'm sure there is.
Do you want me to start from Kingdom Hearts 1, or do you want me to start, like, from the beginning of the timeline?
I hate that question.
So let's go through this, alright? Kingdom Hearts, just Kingdom Hearts 1, that's the first one, came out in 2002. Then it was followed by another game called Chain of Memories for the Game Boy Advance, I think it was, when it first came out.
What game is first in the chronological sense?
That is a complicated question.
Why does it have to be complicated?
Kingdom Hearts Key. Although it's not the word key, it's the letter key, Kai. It looks like an X.
Okay.
Which is it's the browser game, which was then made into the mobile game.
The browser game is the first in chronological order?
Yeah, because it goes back into, like, the beginning of the universe, like, before time.
I hate that.
It's fine. It's only the 8th installment.
I hate that so much.
Alright, let's just go over a couple of the key concepts, alright? Light and darkness, they exist. You're on board with that, right? Light is good, darkness is bad, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how the human person works within Kingdom Hearts. When they succumb to the darkness, they become two different entities. They can become a Heartless, which is the enemy of the first game, and then they can also become a Nobody, which is the enemy of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Wait. Is this an either-or situation, or they become both?
It's both.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right.
So the Heartless is like a big, like, pure dark creature that's taken from your heart. And then the shell that's left behind of your heart being taken away, that becomes a Nobody. Depending on how strong of a personality you are, that can be just a similar-looking person compared to what you were before, or it can be like a freaky monster.
Oh.
The rules vary on that.
So, a Heartless is made of your heart?
Yeah. But, like,
why is it called a
corrupted.
Heartless, then?
Because they don't look very heartful.
Oh,
Imagine the main villain being called the Hearts. Like, I don't know. Just doesn't seem
You could have
right.
called him something unrelated to the heart, but I guess. All right, fine.
It's heartless. They have no kindness that is normally associated with the heart.
They're made of 100% pure heart, but they fucking suck.
It's a heart that's been corrupted by darkness. That's the whole thing.
The
So
dark
then-
hearts. Whatever, who cares?
The dark heart, yes. So you get that point, and then if you defeat, then you have to say the word defeat because you can't say kill. You have to defeat the Heartless and the Nobody, and then your original form pops back.
Wait.
Hmm?
You beat the Heartless that was you,
It was your heart, yeah.
and then it goes into your nobody body and becomes you again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what happens.
So why do I
to-
still see cutscenes involving Roxas in, like, Kingdom Hearts 3?
Well, because he's still a character that eventually gets a heart. Like, some Nobodies can eventually make their own hearts. Because they're so, like, pure.
Alright, you know what?
and
I'll just
good.
let you go through the chronological order of events then, because that doesn't make sense to me, because I thought he, like, stops existing once Sora comes back, but whatever.
Technically, yes, but also technically no. Because the heart can contain multiple different hearts. It can have, like, different people, like, personalities in there.
Okay.
So long time ago, way before the original Kingdom Hearts, there was only one singular world in existence. Even before all of the Disney and all of the Final Fantasy, before everything, there was just one world.
Uh-huh.
You with me so far?
Sure.
It was powered by the single source of, like, light and all good things known as Kingdom Hearts.
That's what the world was called?
It was powered by that. Kingdom Hearts is basically a giant power source of, like, all good things.
Okay.
And that was then protected by a keyblade that was called, get this, the Keyblade. But it's the letter key. Keyblade.
Oh. Okay.
So then, because people are people and they like to go to war, the Keyblade War happens, which is where all of the people in the world, like, make replicas of the Keyblade, which are then called Keyblades, and they look like keys. And basically the entire result of that war is that the original Keyblade is shattered, and Kingdom Hearts gets lost to darkness, and it creates a whole slew of different worlds, which just so happen to resemble Disney and Pixar intellectual properties.
Which just so happen to resemble?
Yeah.
So they're not actually them?
No, they are. That was a joke. That was a funny thing from me.
Oh, I thought... No, you gotta be serious with this, because I think what you're saying is true.
Okay, yeah, no, it makes all the Disney and Pixar and Final Fantasy characters basically come to be.
Okay, alright.
So, Keyblade War happens, Kingdom Hearts is lost to darkness, and everything's kind of just set. The stage is set for, like, future games.
Which, that part about everybody making replica Keyblades would make sense, because in the first game it's like, oh, the Keyblade has chosen Sora as the one to guide the fucking shit, whatever. And then every world he goes to, after he beats whatever problem is there, it's like, oh, here's a new one. It's like, wait, you just had this?
Well, I think technically it's like a charm that you attach to the Keyblade, which then transforms it and gives it different properties.
Oh, because the way, like, your inventory handles it, it's just
they're all
Keyblade
different
you can
weapons,
swap out.
right? But no, I think it is literally like a key chain that you put on the bottom of the Keyblade, and then it changes it physically and gives it, like, different attributes.
Oh, all right.
I think that's what it is. That's how I understand it anyway. So, you have that. You have the Keyblade War, everything is kind of bad, like, light and dark is an imbalance, right?
Right.
And this is when good old Xehanort shows up.
So who is Xehanort?
Xehanort is the main antagonist of what is known as the Dark Seeker Saga.
What?
Which is Kingdom Hearts 1 all the way through to Melody of Memory.
Not 3?
3 is the 12th game in the franchise. And then you have Dark Road, and then you have Melody of Memory.
Oh.
Technically, he's gone, like, he's, like, properly dead.
So in a game that was
3.
released prior to 3, his story ends, and then 3 came out?
No, 3 came out, and then 2 other games came out.
There's been a game that came out since 3?
Melody of Memory, it's a rhythm game.
I legit didn't even realize another game had come out. I thought 3 was the most recent game.
No.
Wow, alright.
Okay. And
Okay.
then there's been an expansion to the browser game as well, aforementioned.
Of course there fucking has been.
So Xehanort, main bad guy. Remember that name. You're gonna hear it a lot.
Oh, that one I know.
So he's a Keyblade master. He's in training with his friend called Ericus.
Do I have to remember them?
Yes.
Ah, fuck. Alright, Ericus.
Ericus is an anagram for Square. Square
damn it.
Enix. Disney.
Is Xehanort an anagram for anything stupid like that?
Yeah, it can be seen as No Heart X.
Oh, wow. Alright.
Or it could also be seen as another X.
Oh.
Anagrams are fun with Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it's all about those anagrams.
And how you word them. So, Xehanort, main villain. You're gonna want to remember him. He's like, I want to restart this Keyblade War. and get a new Keyblade. And
That's what he says?
This basically is the summary of his entire goal, is that he wants to, like, recreate that entire war and, like, apocalypse, basically, just to, like, see what would happen. Like, see if he could hypothetically keep everything balanced.
Wait, what? So he thinks he wants to restart a war just to see if he can do it good?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a very flawed character. He's like Thanos.
I don't think that's the same as Thanos.
He has leftist ideology, but a very bad idea in how to enact it.
Yeah, let me start a war so that I can be a good person?
Well, he's the villain, so he has to have, like, a villainous thing to do, and that villainous thing to do is restart the Keyblade War.
I just feel like if you're gonna make him be a guy that wants to start a war, just go full force into the, like, ham-hock villain side of it. Don't try to make him, like, a morally ambiguous guy like Thanos, because that Thanos' goal made sense.
Well, this guy makes sense. He's trying to, like, create a perfect balance between light and darkness.
But with war?
Yeah.
The thing that started the imbalance?
Yeah.
See, like, that doesn't make sense to me.
I'm not saying he was right. I'm saying it was a bad idea. That's
but, like, you get what I'm saying
thinks.
about, like, how this is weirder than Thanos' plan?
No, yes. But, like, at a grassroots level, you can kind of see the comparison there.
No, like, I'm not trying to harp on the comparison necessarily, but I'm just like, the plan doesn't really make sense of his.
No, it doesn't. That's why he's
all right. As long as we agree on that, then fine.
No. He's not. He's a dickhead, right? He does bad things and seemingly doesn't ever, like, repent for it.
Hmm.
Then that's where these characters that we're about to talk about come in. So there is a way to recreate the Keyblade. I have to put emphasis on the key when we're talking about the big
Yeah,
blade.
I figured that was the X-Blade.
The X-Blade. We'll call it the X-Blade, just cuz. So, he wants to make a new X-Blade, right? And the only way to do that is to get a heart of pure light and a heart of pure darkness, and basically mush them together, and then that creates the X-Blade.
Oh, that's what that thing is.
That thing?
Oh, you sent me a clip with someone holding some weird fucking shit.
Yeah, the Mega Blade, yeah. Where it's like two Keyblades, and then they make a big Keyblade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the X-Blade. That's like the big boss Keyblade that makes Kingdom Hearts come out.
I thought the Keyblade was just supposed to make Kingdom Hearts come out.
No.
Then what was the point of it?
It's a good question. So, Xehanort,
I hate this already.
He finds a boy.
Uh-huh.
This boy is named Ventus.
Why do I remember that name?
Because it's an important name. And what I'm going to do is, this is going to be fun. I'm going to send you images of these characters.
Okay.
Just so that, you have an idea of, like, who I'm talking about.
I already know what Xehanort looks like. Well, one of them. I guess there's like 7 different Xehanorts.
I think there's about 13, actually, but...
Are you fucking kidding me?
Maybe not 13. I think you are more on the ball with 7, honestly.
I hate that my exaggerated number was accurate.
So, I'm going to send you images. Do you want them on Discord or Messenger? Which one would be easier for you?
Do Messenger.
Do Messenger. Okay, so, enter in young little blonde boy by the name of Ventus.
That's just Roxas.
No, this is Ventus.
That's okay.
Forget Roxas. Roxas doesn't exist yet.
I mean, I'm looking at him.
No, this is Ventus.
It's literally the same character model!
No, it's different.
Okay.
It's different in the story. They're 2 different people, okay?
Alright.
So, Master Xehanort finds Ventus.
Uh-huh.
And he wants to basically take all of the darkness from his heart and make the light from his heart basically have a giant fight to make the Keyblade.
Alright. Don't tell me if I'm right or wrong here, but I want to come up with a guess about something. Because earlier, you said that people can have more than one soul, or whatever. and that's why Roxas was able to simultaneously stop existing and keep existing.
Yeah.
This guy looks like Roxas.
Interesting that you would think this.
Are Sora's soul and Ventus's soul somehow linked together, and that's why Roxas gets to keep existing?
We'll get to that in just a second.
I know I phrased that as a question and told you don't tell me if I'm right. Don't tell me.
We're literally getting to that in a second.
Okay.
You can probably fill in a lot of the blanks because you unfortunately have the pre-existing knowledge of a lot of these characters just by virtue of the game's release order, so... So Xehanort takes Ventus, and he basically, like, just swarms him with Heartless, like, really bad until he almost dies. And so
Just
he
gonna
thinks,
pump you full of Heartless now, kid. What?
right, so he's not like a vessel anymore, he's dead. Because he's not, like, good enough to, like, be the thing that he needs.
Say that again?
He's not good enough. He doesn't do the job. He's not, like, strong enough constitutionally. He's made of tissue paper. So Ventus
what was
isn't
the goal?
going to do the thing.
Wait, I'm confused. You said... I thought
he
you
takes
said
the light and the dark from Ventus's heart and puts them together, and he makes a Keyblade. But he couldn't do that because Ventus was just too weak as a person. He has a strong heart in order to do that. His Ventus doesn't have a strong heart.
Alright.
Okay? So then he thinks, fuck it, I'm just going to take all of your darkness out and make it into a new person. And this is where the character of Vanitas comes in.
Okay, see, this is already not
This is Vanitas. That's
just palette swapped Sora with a skin suit.
No, this is Vanitas.
I hate the way this is going so far.
So he keeps Vanitas. Master Xehanort keeps Vanitas, which is basically just a heart of pure darkness. Like, he's a purely, like, evil little shit.
So
And
this
that's
is
his
the
little,
evil extracted from Ventus?
From Ventus, yes. And so then he basically leaves Ventus on Destiny Islands to just die. Because he's, like, not a complete being anymore.
Oh, no.
Because he took all of his darkness out. And so, when Ventus is at Destiny Islands, his heart connects with that of a newborn baby. Who's named Sora. And that's how Ventus is able to keep living, because he basically borrows Sora's heart. Like, essence, in a way. And that allows him to keep living.
Alright. Ventus is like... Alright, hold on. Let me try and make sense of this.
Yeah.
Ventus is, like, stashed away in the back of Sora's brain, right? And then... I don't even know
how... Sora's just a baby at this point, so...
Right. But I'm just saying, like, skip forward to, like, in between the first and second game.
Right.
I don't even... Honest to God, and we'll get to this later... Like, don't explain this part now, but, like, I don't even know how Sora went from being Sora to being Roxas and a Heartless. But
that's
that
like a primary
happens, right?
event in the first game.
We'll get to that. So when that happened... God, I'm trying to make sense of this. Sora became Roxas and a Heartless.
Yeah.
Where was Ventus then?
Ventus is implied to be in Roxas, I think.
Okay.
That's
so
why
then why
Roxas
is he not
looks
just
exactly
a complete...
like Ventus.
Why then... Okay, so like you removed the Sora from Sora, and now it's just Ventus and a Roxas. Why is he not just a complete Ventus then at that point?
Because... So, going back... Don't ask me shit in the future, all right? Because I'm not going to be able to answer.
All right, let's just go in order. All right, I'm going to stop.
Right.
I'm going to try to stop doing that, but it just was so confusing to me.
No, don't worry. Forget everything that you know and just listen to what I'm telling you, all right?
Okay.
So you're with me so far in the Ventus found this baby's heart. Baby's name's Sora. Whoa. And so Ventus basically recovers and he becomes a new person again, but he loses a majority of his memories because of that process.
Ventus becomes a whole person again.
Yeah.
But isn't it just Sora until, like, Kingdom Hearts 2?
No. What are you talking... No, shush. Ventus Ventus is the boy. He has, like, 3/4 of his heart. He gets the other quarter, like, borrowed from Sora when he's a baby, because he's just been born, and his heart has just come into the world, and just by happenstance, they happen to cross paths in the place where all hearts are.
I am so much more confused now than I was a minute ago.
Just forget every other bit of information.
Okay.
No,
wait,
go
are they
with
in the
what we're
same
going
body
with.
or no?
Yes.
Okay.
But Sora is still a baby, just elsewhere.
Elsewhere?
On Destiny Islands.
But they're in the same body.
No. No.
I just asked you if they were in the same body and you said yes.
No.
What is happening?
Whatever. Moving on.
No. I'm so confused because I asked you, are they sharing the same body? And you said yes.
Who's they?
Ventus and Sora.
Sora's heart made Ventus's heart more complete. So now he's just
Are
Ventus.
they in the same
No.
body?
No, they're not in the same body.
Okay, so then where's Ventus been all this time?
Ventus is just Ventus, and he is in the land of departure.
What is
with
that?
Master Ericus.
What is that?
It's a place.
God damn it.
It's a place. It's a world.
All right.
It's a world, okay? And he's there. Ventus is, like, okay now, because he had his heart sort of reformed by Sora. And so he goes off and he has amnesia, and he's with Master Ericus, who's Xehanort's childhood friend, and Terra, and Aqua. These are characters that make up Birth by Sleep. Birth by Sleep is the 6th game in Kingdom Hearts series. So it's like a 10 years before Kingdom Hearts, right? It's a prequel,
Oh.
essentially. So you've got that. He's training to be Keyblade Master with Terra and Aqua. Aqua's the blue-haired one. Terra is tall.
Okay.
As far as Terra goes, he doesn't have a lot in the way of personality. He's just like, oh, I'm scared of the darkness. Master Xehanort, how do I conquer the darkness?
Uh-huh.
So he goes to Master Xehanort, who has this weird little Vanitas kid who looks so evil.
Oh, I've seen
it's
these
like-
two before.
Oh, you're Googling?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah, it's better if you just Google, because me finding images that are good is not a smart way of doing this. So, okay. Terra fails the Mark of Mastery exam, which is how you get to become a Keyblade Master, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then he goes off because Master Xehanort is like, hey, you must get to the darkness. Only the darkness can help. And so Terra goes off on wacky weekend adventure, and Aqua is then sent off to bring him back by Master Ericus. And Ventus is like, let me help. And everyone's like, no, God, no. You're a little boy who almost died before we saw you. Like, no, definitely not.
Right.
So there comes the villainous reveal that Master Xehanort is actually a villain. Whoa, who would
Oh
have
my
guessed
God.
just by looking at him, the bald prick. He looks so evil.
He does. He has yellow eyes.
Yeah, that's a key thing about when you get taken over by the darkness, is that your eyes turn yellow.
Oh, that's a thing? Okay.
There's a thing with, like, all the characters who, like, are evil, basically. They have yellow eyes, so it's really easy to figure out. Also, white hair. Very, like, often paired. Quite a familiar thing when you're fighting the evil guys. Is that they all have white hair and yellow eyes, but
I'm sure that doesn't get confusing.
none of this is confusing.
Yeah, it's all very simple stuff.
This is all very straightforward, okay. So, basically, Ericus realizes that Xehanort is trying to do the Keyblade War again. Like, round 2. And so he's like, the only way I can stop this is to kill Ventus. Because without Ventus, Xehanort can't clash Ventus and Vanitas together to make the X-Blade. Because that's his plan.
Okay.
Okay. But then Terra comes in and is like, what? What are you doing? And Eric's is like, I know what I'm doing. Step aside. Then Terra's like, kind of going a bit evil at this point, so he kills Ericus.
What the fuck?
So Ericus, like, falls into Terra and, like, dissipates. And his heart is now within Terra.
So are people just like sponges?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. If that helps you understand it easier, then yeah.
Because it just seems like whenever somebody's close to somebody, it's just like, oh, your heart's in my heart now.
Yeah. It happens multiple times.
Sure,
more than
why
you'd
not?
think.
Fuck it. That's honestly some of the most sensible shit that's happened so far.
Right, yeah. So the good master is now dead, and the three children are like, oh, we must avenge him, even though Terra basically killed him, but Xehanort struck the final blow, so it wasn't
Three
actually
children?
Terra.
Who?
Aqua, Terra, and Ventus.
Why is Terra on revenge if he's the one that did it?
Well, because he beat him up a lot, and is like, what have I done? And then Ericus is like, no, I fucked up, and then Xehanort kills Ericus. You with me?
I said Terra killed Ericus, but alright, it's fine. It's fine.
I messed up. I messed up the order on that. But he basically, if Terra didn't fucking go and fight Ericus, then this all could have been avoided. But he weakened Ericus so much that Xehanort could just like one-shot him in the back.
I see.
Because he's evil.
Evil!
Evil man with no hair on his head.
Darkness!
Basically, yeah.
Hearts!
So they go into the final battle at the Keyblade Graveyard, which is the desert area with all of the Keyblades in the ground. Looks really cool. And this is where shit kind of goes south. This is a bad time for everyone at the El Royale, right?
Uh-huh.
This is really not good. So, starting off with Ventus. He and Vanitas, like, clash. They fight, but they don't make the X-Blade proper. It's kind of, like, broken and stuff. So, they're fighting within the heart space. We'll call it the heart space, is where all the stained glass, like, window shit happens. You know those areas? Yeah, they're fighting there. Ventus kills Vanitas, but as a result, Ventus's heart just breaks.
Uh-huh.
Because he killed, like, his other half, basically.
Okay.
So he's lost his heart. He's basically just a comatose husk at this point.
A nobody, one could say.
Not a nobody.
Not a nobody.
Because his heart didn't succumb to darkness. He just destroyed the darkness. And you can't have a heart that's just, like, not darkness.
Well,
that's why he was fucked up before. And Sora's heart, like, that was newly born, had to come and, like, give him an assist, basically.
Okay.
So he's like a comatose dummy at this point. So Ventus is now just brain dead.
Fuck.
Aqua saves him by taking him to the Land of Departure, which is their homeworld. Puts him in, like, the big castle, and uses Keyblade magic to disguise it and make hallways and corridors and turn it into what will be known as Castle Oblivion.
That means nothing to me.
Castle Oblivion is where Ventus's comatose body is kept safe.
Okay.
As for Ventus's heart, it drifts back into a little boy named Sora.
So
they have
now
that connection.
They're sharing a body.
Now they're sharing a body.
Okay.
Okay, Sora's like 4 years old at this point.
Okay, so because they were linked before during the assist, now this is where we're at. Got it.
Yes, right. That's probably where you got confused earlier.
Yes.
Because there is a point where they're in the same body, but it wasn't at that point.
I skipped a step, I see.
Right. This is what fucking happens when you release a game out of chronological order over the course of 20 years.
I hate that they've done this.
So then you think, what of Terra?
Yeah.
Well, Terra goes to fight Xehanort.
Uh-huh.
And fucking loses.
Yeah.
Because this is Xehanort's new plan.
Right.
Technically, Terra beats Xehanort to a pulp, because he's an old man, and Terra's, like, really angry and, like, basically using the darkness as an effective, like, way to beat him up. So Terra's heart is very full of darkness, and so Xehanort is like, I will now leave this body and take over your body.
I thought Terra looked familiar.
So Terra becomes Xehanort.
This
fandom
is
calls
where
him
he
Terranaut.
looked familiar from.
Yes.
He's young Xehanort.
He's technically Terra Xehanort. He's not young Xehanort.
That's stupid.
There's things that happen. So this is Terra Xehanort, right? Because
Right.
I should have mentioned
So-
that all three of these characters, Aqua, Terra, and Ventus, they have armor, Keyblade armor, that like keeps them safe when they're traveling between worlds. It's like a gummy ship.
Okay.
So they all have armor. Before Xehanort's heart properly goes into Terra, he activates his suit of armor, and then it falls off, and it's now Terra Xehanort, right?
Alright, so we're up to 2 Xehanorts so far.
No, old Xehanort is dead now. His body is gone.
No, I don't mean simultaneously existing. I just mean that have
Yeah,
been.
chronologically, this is the second Xehanort.
Yeah.
So, he's like, I have won. And then Terra's armor wakes up.
Hmm.
And this is Terra now. Terra
What?
is now an embodiment of a suit of armor. He's called the Lingering
wait. So
Will.
you're saying, all right, hold on. So you're saying Xehanort went into Terra's body, and the armor was like emergency protocols, bullshit, stupid shit. Evacuate Terra's soul into the armor.
Yeah.
Okay, I can make
So-
some sense of that.
Terra is now a suit of armor trying to get his body back from
What the fuck?
Terra Xehanort. Yeah.
That
that's
is
the key-
not. That is not what I expected any of this to look like.
That's the Keyblade armor, dude.
I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah, that's called Lingering Will. It's basically Terra inside a suit of armor.
It looks like a Transformer had sex with a Power Ranger,
It's pretty dope looking, isn't it?
and it has a cape.
Yeah. Well, it does in other games. They couldn't have it in Birth by Sleep because the PSP couldn't handle the rendering of the
physics.
cape. Yeah, it couldn't.
All right.
Because retroactively, this is a secret boss in Kingdom Hearts 2, which came
Oh.
out before Birth by Sleep. But then Birth by Sleep like tells you who it is.
Okay.
So in Kingdom Hearts 2 onward, he has the cape, but in Birth by Sleep, he does not.
Okay. Fine.
Because it was on the PSP and it couldn't render the cape physics.
Okay, fine. So this is Terra living in a suit. It's basically Alfonso Elric.
Sure.
Oh, you haven't watched Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay, so that happens, but Aqua is like, Terra, where are you? But Terra Xehanort is like, I don't know who I am. 'Cause,
Wait, is he
uh,
pretending to not know?
No, the suit of armor beat him up so bad that he kind of got amnesia. A little bit.
Okay, so now Xehanort's in Terra's body and doesn't realize any of that.
He's trying to, like, acclimate to the body, because the body is obviously fighting back a little bit, because he's so strong.
Even though the soul's out of the body, so there's nothing that should be fighting back. But I'll let that happen.
Yeah. So then
Okay.
they have a big old fight, and before Aqua, like, beats the shit out of Terra Xehanort, basically. At the end of their fight, like, Xehanort is, like, trying to get a hold of the body, so he, like, unlocks the heart with the Keyblade. And that would make
There
him
was a
go
lot
into the
of
realm darkness.
and I don't know specifically what you meant there. He unlocks. He does what?
For fuck's sake. Alright. Terra and Aqua fight.
Yeah.
Terra Xehanort unlocks Terra Xehanort's heart with the Keyblade to try and get Terra's lingering, like, essence out of his own body.
So what, he like jabs himself in the chest?
Yeah.
Okay.
The process of which just sends him downwards into the realm of darkness,
All right.
where he would be trapped forever.
So why did Aqua have to do any sacrifice play here?
Because you can't bring Terra back without Terra's body.
I see.
So she basically sends her armor upward into the world to protect Terra, or at least save Terra's body from being consumed by the darkness. But in turn, she gets consumed by the darkness and is then stuck inside the realm of darkness for like 12 years.
So now the landscape is Terra Xehanort, which is Terra's body, has Aqua's armor on it and is in the real normal world?
Yes, and this
And-
is when Terra Xehanort loses all of his memories and just becomes Xehanort.
Okay.
So this is the third Xehanort.
So now this is just okay.
He's just a guy who doesn't have any memories at all. He doesn't know who he is. He just says Xehanort as his first word when he is found by a guy called Ansem.
Aw,
man! This is Ansem the Wise.
Okay.
He is the ruler of a world known as Radiant Garden.
Ansem the Wise.
He's voiced by Christopher Lee.
Oh no, it's a different person than who I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm. This is the first Ansem.
I hate this.
And so he takes the third Xehanort, who is just Xehanort now.
Alright,
into becoming a pupil, a scientist, a student researching heart science.
I just saw something that said the name Luxord, and I've never heard that one in my life. But
no, stop it.
I'm just looking at pictures of Ansem, and that showed up.
Ignore that.
Fine.
That's too far in the future.
Oh, God.
So, at this point, Xehanort, he's under the tutelage of Ansem the Wise, along with 5 other, science guys. Science students, alright?
One of which is Bill Nye.
I would tell you all of the names, but that's not important.
Fine, good, fine.
Or your brain wouldn't retain all of the names anyway, so...
Are they going to be recurring important characters?
Yes.
Oh, God damn it. Alright, I guess I should know at least. Tell me
Xehanort
once.
is number 1. Guy named Braig is number 2.
Braig?
Braig.
Okay.
Guy named Dylan is number 3.
Dylan!
Dylan!
Of all the fucking wild-ass, ridiculous names we've had so far, it's just Dylan.
It's spelled D-I-L-A-N, Dylan.
Okay.
Number 4 is Evan.
Just this room of normal-ass jabronis.
Number 5 is Aeolus.
Okay.
And number 6 is Ienzo.
Henry. What was that last one?
Ienzo.
Ienzo?
Ienzo.
Is he Italian?
No, he's a small boy.
Okay.
He's like a young kid with half of his hair, really big hair, excluding half of his face.
I'm going to tell you right now, Dylan and Evan are my favorite characters so far.
They're kind of not really important.
Fuck.
The important ones are Xehanort, Braig, and I guess technically Ienzo, depending on how you scale it. But Dylan has no bearing on the plot whatsoever. Evan has some importance. Aeolus also has no bearing on the plot. They're just guards, basically, to the castle.
Okay.
So all 6 of these people are living under Ansem the Wise, researching heart science, yeah?
Okay.
Ventus is trapped in Castle Oblivion, being kept safe while his heart is inside Sora.
Yeah.
And Aqua is stuck in the realm of darkness.
Right. What? So is Aqua's armor still
Aqua's
on Xehanort?
armor is loose, kept loose above ground. Ansem is oh, we should keep this because it seems important.
All right. So they have it in a lab somewhere.
Yeah, it's just floating about.
All right.
So then that is the end of Birth by Sleep.
And where I think I lost track of Evil Ventus.
Oh, he was lost in the clash against Ventus.
Okay.
Ventus basically defeated him and made him go away, and that's why
That's right.
he's
Okay, that's
now.
why he's comatose. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So now it's time for Kingdom Hearts 1.
Fucking shit! Oh my God, that just hit me like a ton of bricks!
Yeah, it's wild, bro. It's fucking crazy.
You know what? Before we get into the actual fucking first game, maybe now is a good time to take an ad break.
Is it in the realm of darkness?
I don't know where it is. Let's go find it.
Sorry!
That made a lot more sense than most of what we've talked about so far, and I'm assuming most of what's to come.
Oh, yeah, we're just scratching the surface here.
We're already an hour in.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right,
Okay.
So Kingdom Hearts 1.
So there's an event in Birth by Sleep wherein Aqua and Terra each end up at Destiny Islands. as like part of exploring all of the worlds and that.
Uh-huh.
During which they encounter two young boys,
Riku and Sora?
Sora and Riku. And they essentially are like... Oh no, Terra basically discovers Riku and is like, I want you to have a Keyblade one day. And so he does like a ceremony for him. And so now Riku can basically have a Keyblade if he wants it.
That's all this is? That's all it is?
In some instances, yes. So the reason why Sora has a Keyblade is because Ventus was training to be a Keyblade master all those years ago.
Oh,
and now Ventus's heart is inside Sora, so now Sora is able to wield a Keyblade.
Sora basically absorbed his training.
Basically. But he still knows nothing, because that's, leveling up and shit. And then Aqua, at one point, finds, like, a little Kairi, and Kairi, like, touches the Keyblade, and so Kairi can now wield a Keyblade if she wants.
Is there a point where Kairi gets a Keyblade?
Yeah, very endgame. Don't worry, she doesn't do anything.
I've never seen that before. Okay.
It happens in Kingdom Hearts 3, and she literally has, like, one swing and gets fucking murked by Xehanort, and so...
Okay, because I know I've seen in Kingdom Hearts 1, there's the part where Riku, who is actually Ansem, gets a Keyblade.
Yes.
But we're in the process of Kingdom Hearts 1 right now, so I'll just let that happen.
Okay, Kingdom Hearts, this is why they have Keyblades. This is why they can hold Keyblades, is because of the old guys basically passing on the torch, right?
Uh-huh.
So, Xehanort is still controlling Terra's body at this point, but he doesn't have memories, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gradually, over the course of time, starts recovering his memories and becomes bad again.
Okay.
But, like, on the down low. He has to keep up appearances on the surface level.
This is Death Note.
I don't know what Death Note is.
It's an anime.
Yes, but you said this is Death Note. What is that?
There's a point in Death Note's plot around the second half, the beginning of the second half, where this sort of happens.
Right. And the reason why Xehanort is slowly getting memories back is because Braig was actually in cahoots with Master Xehanort.
What?
As like a spy.
Then why did he not show up at any point prior to this?
No, he did. I just didn't mention it.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot. It's a lot.
Alright.
So he's getting his memories back and he's like, I want Kingdom Hearts. And Ansem Wise is like, no, that's a bad idea. And then eventually Xehanort just gets like all of his memories back and is like, oh, fuck all of you. And he traps Ansem the Wise into the realm of darkness with Aqua.
Uh-huh.
So Ansem the Wise is gone. He's in the realm of darkness. Radiant Garden, like the whole world, succumbs to darkness.
Uh-huh.
So the residents are either turned into Heartless or they get scattered across different worlds, which is how Kairi ends up on Destiny Islands with Sora.
Huh?
Because Kairi lived in Radiant Garden before she lived on Destiny Islands.
Oh.
Yeah. She didn't have any memory of it, though, because she was a little kid.
Okay.
Yeah. So...
Doesn't she have parents on Destiny Island?
Not important. Like I say, parents, not important. Doesn't matter. So, with Ansem the Wise gone, this is where Xehanort steals his name. He splits into two entities.
How?
Because he did the thing where he succumbs to darkness and because he turns the entire world of Radiant Garden into darkness. Like, he basically fucks the world up so bad that it gets, like, locked away and succumbs to darkness. So he has to, because he lives there.
Uh-huh.
It's like if you burnt down your house and you burned alive.
Why does that let him turn into two people?
Because he's strong-hearted. He becomes a Heartless and a Nobody.
So which one is Ansem?
Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, is the Heartless.
Okay.
This is the antagonist of the first game.
And then what's left?
The Nobody, known as Xemnas.
Xemnas.
Which is
I think
Ansem
I have heard
with
that
an
name
X.
before.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me find a picture of Xemnas. Oh.
Xemnas is very similar to Xehanort in terms of appearance.
He looks like a weird Sephiroth thing.
Yeah, Google Ansem the Heartless. That's the main villain of the first game.
Yeah, I remember Ansem, the villain.
Yeah, so this is the second Ansem, but it's actually Xehanort's Heartless.
Oh yeah, he gets like a stand.
Yeah, his stand thing, which is actually present with Terra Xehanort as well.
Okay.
I don't know why, he just has it.
Okay, fine. Fuck it, fine.
So, you have Ansem the Heartless and Xemnas the Nobody, right?
Yeah.
Ansem the Heartless's goal is to basically get all of the Disney princesses. Which is, yeah, it's true, because the Disney princesses, in the lore, their hearts are the most pure, perfect things ever.
Sure,
They're
fuck
like
it.
Hearts of pure light.
Yeah.
Because you need 7 hearts of pure light to go against 13 hearts of pure darkness to properly redo the X-Blade and get Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, fine.
Because the reason why Ventus vs. Vanitas didn't work is because it was just one of each.
Sure.
Under his, research with Ansem the Wise, he figures out you need 7 good ones and 13 bad ones.
Now, I'm immediately gonna say this is weird and stupid because prior it was all about balance, and that's not the same number.
It isn't.
So, but continue.
You're probably also thinking, what of Ansem's apprentices? What about Dylan and Evan and Aeolus? They succumb, and they become nobodies. This is the first half of Organization 13 that is presented to you in the game Chain of Memories.
Aeolus is Axel.
No.
No?
Aeolus is Lexaeus.
Fucking shut up.
Braig becomes Zigbar.
I don't.
Dylan becomes Zoldan.
Literally the only member of Organization 13 I know is Axel.
Evan becomes Vexen.
Okay.
Aeolus becomes Lexaeus. And Ienzo becomes Zexion.
Alright.
So you have them, and then you have a guy named Axel, guy named Syax, guy named Demix, Luxord, Marluxia, Larxene, and then Roxas. This is Organization 13, right?
Wait.
What?
How long has Organization 13 existed as all 13 of them?
Well, you get introduced to half of them in Chain of Memories, and then you get introduced to the other half in Kingdom Hearts 2. And then in Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2, you see them as a whole unit.
So is it only after or during Kingdom Hearts 2 that all 13 of them exist simultaneously?
In Kingdom Hearts 2, 6 of them are already dead, I think.
Oh.
Because Chain of Memories happens, it takes place in Castle Oblivion.
Because I'm just confused because
But we're getting ahead of
doesn't exist
ourselves
yet.
because I'm missing a part of the first game, alright? Fuck.
But I'm just confused because Roxas doesn't exist yet, so that's why
Hang on. The reason why Roxas exists is because, in Kingdom Hearts 1, do you remember when Kairi was, basically blown into Sora and she disappears?
Yeah.
Her heart is now in Sora.
Yeah.
Right. So then you go to the end of the game,
So
you
now
go
he's
to
got
Hollow
3 hearts.
Bastion. You go to Hollow Bastion, where Beast is, randomly, from
Right.
Beauty and the Beast. This is what Radiant Garden has become.
Radiant Garden became Hollow Bastion.
Yes.
Okay.
World of Darkness, where
Which is
Beast
just Halloween
lives.
Town.
No, Halloween Town is its own world.
I thought Hollow Bastion was where you run into Jack.
Jack? What?
There's a fucking Nightmare Before Christmas level in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah?
I thought that was Hollow Bastion.
No.
Okay.
That was Nightmare Town. That was Halloween Town, whatever that was called. Hollow Bastion is the castle with Beast.
Oh, okay, fine. All right.
I don't know why Beast is there. He's just there, because I had to fucking put Disney in there somewhere.
Sure.
So
Kairi gets flung into Sora. Sora now has 3 hearts, but he thinks he has 2.
yes.
Okay.
Ansem the Heartless is the main villain of Kingdom Hearts 1, which is where Donald and Goofy come in. King Mickey is like, oh, you must go and save the worlds. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, by the end of it, Sora succumbs to the darkness at one point. He, unlocks his heart with a Keyblade. So this is where things happen. He turns into a Heartless. Remember that bit of a game where you're running around as a Heartless?
Yeah.
Yeah. He creates a nobody, which is Roxas.
Yeah.
Roxas looks exactly like Ventus because Ventus's heart went into Roxas.
So where's Kairi during this?
Kairi also gets a nobody called Namine.
So Sora, okay. Sora split into 3 things?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Kairi comes back and makes Sora come back.
What did Sora come back into if Roxas just keeps existing?
Sora.
But
Admittedly, this part doesn't make sense.
okay, all right. As long as we have that, okay.
Right.
So he just makes a new body out of nothing.
Sora's back. He has Sora in him. Right.
So now
Sora...
so now okay. He splits. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
He split. Sora
Yeah.
has his own heart,
Yeah.
Ventus's heart, and Kairi's
Yeah.
heart in his own body simultaneously. Then he succumbs to darkness, splits into a Heartless, a Roxas, and that other name you said.
Namine.
Right. Then Roxas just goes and does his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
with Ventus's heart in him.
Right.
Yeah.
Which...
that's why they look identical.
And I don't get why he's not just Ventus instead of a nobody as Roxas, but fine.
Because they didn't know who Ventus was at the time. They just thought, oh, it's Sora's nobody. We'll call him Roxas, who will assume he doesn't have a heart.
So you're saying Roxas is Roxas because they hadn't written Ventus yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Or rather, he wasn't introduced yet.
As long as we can acknowledge that as a writing error.
No. It's not an error. It's just Ventus wasn't introduced yet.
But as far... okay, whatever. And then Namine... how did that become Kairi again?
Let me have a read. let me get a quick primer on this.
Because I would think, based off the rules...
so they're in Hollow Bastion, where Maleficent lives, and where Beast is, randomly.
Yeah.
Riku basically erroneously thinks that Sora's Keyblade is in fact his Keyblade, which is why Donald and Goofy abandon Sora and go follow Riku for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that part was weird.
Yeah, it's because they were ordered to follow the wielder of the Keyblade, not Sora. So
Right.
they think it's Riku. Sora basically fights him, gets back the Keyblade, and this is where we find out that Riku has been possessed by Ansem this whole time.
Yeah, so...
because when Ansem basically is a cloaked figure on the Destiny Islands, he coerces Riku into opening the door to darkness, which is where darkness comes out, and then that puts the motions of the game into motion.
But I thought worlds started to fade out before darkness even came to Destiny Island. Wasn't there a thing where they were looking at stars and they were blinking out?
Yeah.
All right.
So we find out that Kairi's heart is trapped inside Sora's body.
Yeah.
And she can't be restored without it because she's just like a dummy. She's like a corpse, right? Like Ventus is.
Yeah.
So he impales himself with the Keyblade. Kairi's heart goes back into Kairi's body. But because of the whole nobody thing, Namine is created. Because that's what happens when you unlock your heart. You make a heartless and a nobody. But the heart went back into Kairi, so there's just a nobody now called Namine.
Okay, I can kind of accept that.
Right.
And so... alright.
So there's a Sora nobody and a Kairi nobody.
But the Sora nobody is also Ventus.
Yes.
And then when Sora comes back into being Sora, instead of going into the
it's
nobody...
because Kairi is a princess of heart, like the Disney princesses. She just has the power to turn him back into normal Sora.
This is so stupid.
Yeah, that part is admittedly like the one bit where it's like, okay, well, that doesn't make sense, though.
Alright, as long as we know it doesn't make sense, fine.
So Sora and Kofi and Donald, they fight Ansem in the big Kingdom Hearts door.
Uh-huh.
But because he's an idiot, he thinks it's just entirely darkness. But
Why?
no. He's an idiot. Ansem doesn't make any sense. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
But wasn't he also the guy that studied this shit for how many fucking years with other Ansem?
That was his person.
Kingdom Hearts!
So the light is opened, Ansem's dead now, but there's a big massive Heartless inside. So, to prevent the Heartless from coming through to the other worlds, Riku and King Mickey, who shows up at the end, because he's inside the Realm of Darkness trying to find Aqua.
That's what he's been doing this whole time?
Yeah.
Why does he know who Aqua is?
I forget. I forget. But he's in there, and the Heartless rip off his shirt.
And he's all buff.
No, he just has his pants on. He doesn't have a shirt on, remember?
Alright, yeah.
It's really weird. So yeah, they retconned that, so the Heartless basically ripped off his shirt. And so Mickey Mouse is shirtless, and he's like, oh, we'll close the door. And so him and Riku close the door, and him and Riku are now in the Realm of Darkness.
And then Sora's outside?
Yes, with Kairi.
Okay. And that's
so Kairi goes back to Destiny Islands, and that's the end of the first game.
Where does Sora go?
Sora goes into Chain of Memories, the second game.
Oh, boy.
This is where they meet some of the organization, because it takes place at Castle Oblivion.
How did he get there?
He finds Pluto, and Pluto leads him there.
Alright, I'll just have to accept that.
Yeah. So, Castle Oblivion is where some of Organization 13 are. Namely, who is there? Vexen.
Why are they there?
Because it's like a separate hideout.
Do they know Ventus is there?
I think Xemnas does, but the rest of the organization are just following Xemnas, so they don't really know.
Does he want Ventus?
Yes.
And so he's looking for him because he's hidden in there?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, I can accept that.
I think so. It's hard to keep track of who knows what when there's like 5 different versions of one person.
Yeah, how many
Each with
Xehanorts are we up
different
to,
unique
by the way? I think this is 4?
Yes.
With Xemnas? Okay.
5.
5? Yes, 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So the big kicker with this is that Chain of Memories takes place at the exact same time as Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2.
That means nothing to me.
Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2 is the DS game.
Uh-huh.
That one is the 4th game?
What happens
1,
in
2,
that?
3, 4, 5th game. It's about Roxas.
Oh.
It's about Roxas and his time in Organization 13. Takes place over a year. The year between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, because I was going to say, how does he go from being part of the organization to just hanging out in whatever town that is in the second
We'll
game?
get to it. We'll get to it. Okay, so Sora's in Castle Oblivion, and he begins to like lose his memories. But he gets like flashes in his head of Namine, who he thinks is like one of his childhood friends at Destiny Islands.
Oh, this is Sora?
Yes.
Okay.
But Namine is being manipulated by the organization, specifically Marluxia.
Why is Namine the only nobody that doesn't have an X in her name?
I think so.
Is there any reason for that?
Because she wasn't created through like the conventional method.
Okay.
I think.
Alright.
I think there's an anagram in there, so...
Yeah, because it's not Kairi, that's for sure.
No. So... Basically, Marluxia is using Sora as like a pawn to take control of the organization.
Okay.
So throughout this, he fights Larxene, Marluxia. Axel is there.
Got it memorized.
Got I'm Axel. Got memory. So... so basically they go through the castle.
If we take nothing else away from this episode, it will be I'm Axel got memory.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so Sora, Donald, and Goofy are going through... They're going through Castle Oblivion and they're losing their memories because Naminé has the ability to manipulate Sora's memories.
But why is she against Sora?
Because she's being used as a tool by Marluxia. She's just a tiny little girl. She can't actually fight back. She has no fighting ability.
So Marluxia is like puppeteering Naminé.
Yes.
To erase Sora's memories.
Yes.
Fine.
Marluxia's plan is to use Sora as a weapon against the rest of the organization.
Why?
Because he wants to be the leader.
Okay.
That's his motivation. He's evil. He's double-crossing.
He's bad, but also against the bad guys.
For his own selfish needs, yes.
Got it. Fine. Fuck it.
So, they get to the end of the game. They beat Marluxia. They beat all of the organization members except for Axel. He lives for some reason.
Has Xemnas been in this game?
No.
Okay.
We don't know who Xemnas is yet.
Right. All right. Fine.
So, they get to the end and then they realize they have no memories left. But Naminé can fix him. So it's just going to take a long time, namely a year.
So that's why Sora's not present immediately in the second game.
Yep.
Because he's getting his memories surgically fixed.
Yeah, he's inside a giant egg.
Sure, fine.
He's in a giant egg where he's getting all of his memories basically rewritten by hand by Naminé.
So this was happening simultaneously with the Roxas game?
Yes.
What's happening in there?
We're not done yet.
Oh, God.
So Ansem the Wise
Huh?
has come back from the Realm of Darkness.
How?
Somehow Palpatine returned.
It's like that fucking Kung Fu Panda. How? I don't know!
I don't know! There's probably a reason, but I don't know it. He's back under the pseudonym of Diz.
What?
Diz. D-I-Z. Darkness in Zero.
And then there's Ni. And they fuse. Disney. Continue.
So Ansem the Wise is back under the name of Diz. He's got like a mask on. We don't really know who he is. He's doing blackface as well, which
oh,
is
that's what that
weird.
picture. I saw it when I looked up Ansem the Wise. I saw a picture of just a masked dude.
Yeah, that's him in the form of Diz.
So is he just like disguising himself?
Yeah, he's back for revenge, basically.
Okay. My science teacher's back for revenge.
Yeah, because we basically ruined the entire world and put him in the Realm of Darkness for like 10 years. So,
okay.
He's now back. And
right.
He is going to help Riku and Naminé to restore Sora's memories. Because Riku's been in the basement of Castle Oblivion this whole time.
I thought he was in Kingdom Hearts.
He takes the road to Castle Oblivion from there.
Why doesn't everybody just do that then?
Not everyone had King Mickey with them. They didn't know the way.
Okay, so Mickey came back too?
Yeah, but he goes away to do King Mickey stuff.
This is the thing I've noticed consistently in the Kingdom Hearts games, that Mickey's like the all-powerful fuckface, but he just keeps going away to do other shit.
There's a lot of things to do. Like, he has to go help Aqua.
He's basically Captain Marvel.
Yeah, he is, in a way.
Alright, fine. So Riku's back because Mickey held his hand to King Castle Oblivion. And then
King Castle.
And then Diz, who's actually just like Punisher Ansem, is working with Riku and Naminé to
restore
fix the
Sora's
memories of
memories.
Sora.
But the main campaign of the game, you have a Sora campaign and a Riku campaign.
Oh no.
So the Riku campaign is basically revolving around the other nobodies that are there, namely Vexen, Luxeus, Zexion. I think that's it.
Oh man.
So he fights all of them. Meanwhile, there's a fake Riku going around.
What?
The Riku replica.
Where did that come from?
Vexen built it.
Just because?
Because he's able to create replicas. It's
Okay.
to counter Marluxia's plan of using Sora.
Oh man.
So Vexen builds a fake Riku. We'll call it the Replica Riku. Or Repliku.
Rikluka.
Rikluka. Fine. So... trying to think of where we are. I'm lost. The Riku campaign. Basically, he ends up with Diz and Namine.
Okay.
He kills the Riku replica as like a boss fight. And then he discovers that Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, is still within his heart. After being possessed by him for so long.
So there's just like a shard of Ansem still in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
So he goes off with Mickey to try and, like, come to terms with that.
So this is his Bucky story?
Kind of, yes.
Alright. Oh god, Riku's Bucky and I hate it.
Meanwhile... at the world that never was.
Huh?
The world that never was. It's a place.
Just, alright. It's the world that never was is a place. Alright.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's where the organization lives.
I thought they lived in Castle Oblivion.
No, I told you that was like a secret getaway spot.
But
This
they
is
were
their
there,
main
weren't
villa.
they? I thought they were just there. I thought that was the
They
point.
were. Half
is
of
that
them were
Xemnas
there.
is looking for Ventus.
Yes,
So
but there's
that's where
only
they live
half
to
of the
look for
organization that was there. The other half are in the world that never was.
Oh, just a half. Okay, fine.
Yes.
Fine.
That's where Demix is just hanging about playing his sitar in the common room. With Zigbar, Zaldin, Axel, who's like a double agent within the organization.
Such nonsense.
Syx is there as well. And so is Luxord.
Alright.
And Roxas is there as well.
Because after he became existing
After he popped into existence,
in the
Xemnas
first
found him
game.
and was like, oh, we can use you. And so he becomes Roxas.
So this is a very unimportant question, but it popped to me. When a nobody starts existing, do they just randomly show up somewhere?
Yeah. Well,
because
in this
it's
case,
certainly
yes.
not in the same room where the thing happened.
No, it's in another world known as Twilight Town.
Okay.
Just a random place.
All right.
Xemnas takes him and is like, you are the 13th member of the organization. Roxas doesn't have any memories.
So
or,
before Roxas showed up, were they just Organization 12?
No, they were the organization.
Oh.
It's just when they got Roxas is Organization 13, because you need 13 pieces of darkness. You remember.
Okay.
So Roxas doesn't have any sense of self. He doesn't really know who he is. Like, he has no memories, because other nobodies do. Like, Xemnas knows who he is, but Roxas doesn't.
Just because?
Just because it was kind of fucky the way that, like, he has Ventus in him at the same time.
You know what? I'll accept that. Fine.
So he goes off and he does, like, missions, gets really close with Axel. Real best friends. They have ice cream together.
I remember that.
And so, yeah. Sea salt ice cream.
Alright.
They sit at the clock tower and they're like, hey, got memory?
Do you remember the ice cream? Gotta memorize? Memory.
Yeah,
And Roxas is like, I don't
memory.
like when you do this.
So, yeah, then they get sent to Castle Oblivion. Like, the members that go to Castle Oblivion, including Axel, get sent there. And so Roxas is, like, all alone. And this is where he becomes friends with Shion.
Who the fuck is that?
The 14th member of Organization 13.
What?
So Shion, as
How do
we
you spell
come to
Shion?
discover, Xion.
King.
Anagram for no I. I don't know, man. I don't know why she's called that. But yeah, they basically bond because Shion can also wield a Keyblade.
This is fucking Kyrie.
No, this is Shion.
I hate this fucking series.
Shion can wield a Keyblade, and she also can't remember anything. How convenient. They partner, they become friends, while Axel is off being Axel in the castle. And then Roxas keeps falling in and out of comas because they're trying to fix up Sora's memories.
Okay.
And then Shion becomes like the third for Roxas and Axel. They eat ice cream all the time at the clock tower.
Uh-huh.
But then Shion is sent off to fight Riku.
Okay.
But she then falls into a coma because she can't do it.
What?
She could get beat the fuck up by Riku.
Okay.
Goes into a coma.
Alright.
In the meantime, she's like, who am I? I don't know who I am. And she becomes like a shut-in and like really like not friendly at all.
Uh-huh.
So this is who Shion is. A artificial replica made as a failsafe for Roxas, who is accidentally absorbing Sora's memories, preventing them from completely going back to Sora.
Shion's absorbing Sora's memories?
Yeah.
Why?
She is.
Alright.
She just is.
Alright.
She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know if she should, like, basically commit suicide so that Sora can come back, or if she wants to basically be her own person. What?
Okay, this just got so much heavier than the usual shit.
She ultimately decides that she wants to be with the organization because she's stealing Roxas's, like, strength.
What?
She steals a lot of things. She
Okay.
basically absorbs it.
Alright.
So then she's like a robot that's basically going off and is like, I'm not a real person. My whole life is a lie.
Uh-huh.
So then her main goal at the end is to absorb Roxas and become a perfect copy of Sora. But over the time, she gained her own heart.
What?
Yes.
This one's really throwing me for a fucking loop.
It's all memory of her existence is like gone after she gets defeated and her heart goes into Sora's. Because she was absorbing Sora's memories, so she eventually, like, created her own heart.
Out of Sora?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Shion is like, please, Roxas, destroy the organization for me. Because they're bad. And you know it. And Roxas is like, who will I have ice cream with now? And so he goes on like a vigilante mission against the wishes of Axel, because he's like, you're gonna die. Memory. And so Roxas like basically goes to destroy the organization, but Riku is there.
Why?
Because Riku was sent there by Diz to reclaim Roxas so that they can get Sora back. The process of getting all of Sora's memories back has been so halted and fucked up just because Shion and Roxas exist.
But Roxas wasn't even interfering with it.
He kind of was, though.
Shion was the one absorbing everything.
Yeah, but Roxas also kind of didn't help the process. Because, like, Sora needs Roxas to come back to him. Because he has Ventus's heart, you see. So Sora can't really be Sora.
Okay.
Sora can't really be Sora if he doesn't have all of the components. Roxas is a component, so... Need to get him back. And this is when they put him in a virtual simulation of Twilight Town, give him amnesia, and that's where Kingdom Hearts 2 starts.
Wait a minute.
What?
So, the opening of Kingdom Hearts 2 is a VR simulation that Roxas is stuck in.
Yeah. I thought you knew this.
No, I did not remember
It's literally
that.
explained in the game.
I did not remember that.
There's like glitches in the town and everything. Like,
that's why I was confused, because I thought it was just a normal town, and I'm like, how did he get from?
No, it's a virtual replication of the town.
Oh yeah, all right.
So that they can prime him to rejoin with Sora, which they then do, and it's now Kingdom Hearts 2.
All right.
So Sora's back with Donald and Goofy, and they have to go off and search for Riku and Mickey.
Where did they go?
They went off somewhere.
God. Okay.
Since Sora is now back with Roxas, Naminé also merges with Kairi.
Why did that happen simultaneously?
It happens at the end of the game.
Is it unrelated?
No, it's related. We're at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2 now.
Oh, okay.
So Kingdom Hearts 2 is basically just them going off trying to look for Riku and Mickey. That's the game.
Uh-huh.
Whereas the first game was about, let's save all of the world. They go to fucking Port Royal and they're like, hey, Captain Jack, have you seen Riku? And he's like, I don't know who that is, mate.
I have said.
Right. So,
all right.
we're at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2.
I love how a main numbered game is a skim point.
I mean, stuff happens. Like, you go to different worlds and you turn into a lion.
Sure,
and,
but I mean, like, as far as the long-running plot relevance, Kingdom Hearts 2 really has not much in it.
It's the best game in the series, in my opinion.
Because of this.
Yeah. Also because it plays good.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
So
One of the
anyway,
greatest games ever.
We just started Kingdom Hearts 2. Fast forward to the end of Kingdom Hearts 2.
No, okay, fine. We'll go through Kingdom
No,
Hearts
I mean,
2.
if there's not much plot relevance, then I don't need the in-depth synopsis, but sure.
So, all the meanwhile, you've had Maleficent and Pete, like, going around being like, hey, we're evil. Heartless.
I know who Pete is. I know who you mean. It's just really funny hearing those names back to back. Maleficent and Pete.
Maleficent and Pete. Oh yeah, they find King Mickey at the start.
So, that's a thing, because this goes back to the first Kingdom Hearts game. Why is Maleficent so on board with this Xehanort Ansem shit?
Evil.
Alright.
Evil.
Fine. You know what? I can accept that.
So Kingdom Hearts 2 is basically going around looking for Riku,
And
because they technically met King Mickey at the start.
Technically?
Yeah. In the real Twilight Town, they meet King Mickey, who was like, we have to go to Yen Sid.
Oh, that's right. He shows up in his fucking hood. Hiya, fellas.
Hi, ha. So they go to Yen Sid,
Alright.
who's like an all-powerful fucking wizard. And their goal is to basically find Riku and destroy the organization.
Right.
So there's various problems caused by the organization and all of these worlds, as you would think.
Yeah.
So this is when they find out that Ansem, quote-unquote, from the first game is Xehanort's Heartless.
Yes.
And this is where they find out who Xemnas is.
He's the nobody.
Yes.
Right.
The purpose of the organization is that they seek the power of Kingdom Hearts, creating, like, an artificial one that Sora has made from releasing, like, the hearts from the Heartless with his Keyblade.
Huh?
Huh?
What?
Sora's making a fake Kingdom Hearts on accident because he's defeating all the Heartless.
How
All
does
the
that make
hearts that go, they create a new Kingdom Hearts.
So, alright, Kingdom Hearts is a big battery.
Yeah.
When Sora defeats the Heartless, the heart energy starts accumulating in a new spot and makes a new fake battery.
Yeah.
okay.
That's exactly what it is.
All right. Fine.
The organization also has Kyrie now.
Why?
As a hostage, forcing him to, like, comply with their wishes.
Okay, is this where Goofy dies for, like, a second?
Yeah, that's fucked. Goofy, like, dies, and then he's like, "Hi, Fuzz!"
Because he gets hit in the head with a boulder.
Yeah, and then they treat it as, like, a real serious death scene, but then, like, 2 screens later, he's back.
He just wakes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Citing, he's had worse.
I mean, look at the lump on his head. I bet he has.
That's so fucked that just happens.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's so nuts.
So yeah. All right. Kyrie's being held hostage by the organization. Is Riku there now?
Riku is, like, Sora basically sees, like, a hooded figure, like, helping him in the shadows, and he thinks that that's Riku.
But it's not?
I think it is, but he's taking the appearance of Ansem, Seeker of Darkness.
Because there's that piece of him in there?
Yeah.
So you can just choose to look like that?
Yeah.
He's undercover.
Yeah.
Ah! Okay.
You're understanding, son. You're getting there. You know what I'm talking about.
It's stupid, but I get it.
Watch it be wrong. Watch me misremember that.
That's not even the one piece I'm like, I get it. It's like not even true.
Okay. No. So
okay. A hooded figure that looks like Ansem is helping Sora. It's implied Riku or guaranteed Riku?
It is Riku, but Sora isn't sure.
Sora isn't sure. Okay.
Yeah. So they go to the world that never was. Axel sacrifices himself to give them safe passage because he's like...
Gotta memorize.
Because he has memory.
Because he has memory.
Yeah. They find Kairi and Riku. Oh yeah,
but all right, for real though, he helps them because it's Roxas?
Because who's Roxas?
Sora? Because Sora is technically Roxas, right?
Yeah, Roxas is now inside Sora, yes.
So does Axel like recognize that? And he's like, "Oh, you used to be my friend. I'll help you."
Yes. He's like, "You remind me of someone."
Okay.
It's actually like a real emotional moment. It's actually
that actually sounds fine. Like I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So, and plus he was like not really evil anyway. He was just like
he just liked ice cream in memory.
Yeah, they just found him and was like, "Hey, you control fire. You're useful." And he's like, yeah. So, okay, they're in the big castle in the world that never was. Sora finds Kairi and Riku. The reason why Riku looks like Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, is because of the encounter he had with Roxas.
Huh?
Because Roxas, I don't know, something happened there to make him look like that. So, Mickey's there too, but so is Diz. Diz takes off his blackface, and he's now Ansem. Ansem the Wise. And he has a giant laser. He's going to destroy the fake Kingdom Hearts.
With his big laser?
Yeah, but the laser doesn't work, it self-destructs.
What the fuck?
This is how Riku goes back to looking like Riku. And
because
Ansem
the laser blew up?
Yeah, and Ansem is now, like, dead.
So that makes Ansem go away.
Yeah.
The bad Ansem.
Yeah.
Okay.
They go to the top of a castle after, like, fighting through all of the remaining nobodies that are there, part of the organization.
Wait, I just love how, as far as, if you only played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 as a kid, this guy just shows up. This guy named Diz just shows up. And it's like, I'm actually Ansem, but not the one you remember from the last game. I'm a good guy who has the same name. I got big laser to fix problem. And then it explodes and he immediately dies.
He doesn't die. You think he's dead.
Oh.
But really, he, like, goes somewhere.
But it does make evil Ansem go away, even though he didn't die. That makes no sense.
So they go to the top of the castle after fighting through the rest of the organization, killing all those guys.
Uh-huh.
And then they fight Xemnas.
Man, I miss Ansem. It's a shame he exploded.
They destroy Xemnas, and they become trapped in the realm of darkness as a result.
Who's they? All of them?
No, Sora and Riku.
Huh?
They fight Xemnas, and then they kill Xemnas, and then they get put in the realm of darkness.
Why does beating Xemnas put them in the realm of darkness?
Because some bullshit happens.
It's Kingdom Hearts.
It's Kingdom Hearts.
Alright, fine.
But then they find a letter in a bottle that was sent off by Kairi, like, earlier in the game.
Before she got kidnapped?
Yeah.
What does it say?
Says, I miss you, Sora. And then the light opens up and they go into the light and they return to Destiny Islands.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So now everyone's back. Everyone's back home. Naminé is in Kairi. Roxas is in Sora. Ventus is also in Sora again. Riku's
Wait, who was
back.
in Kairi?
Naminé.
Oh.
Remember?
Yes. I thought I
Yes.
just didn't hear the name.
Naminé's back in Kairi. Roxas is in Sora. Ventus is in Sora. Riku is Riku. Donald and Goofy are there. King Mickey fucks off to somewhere else. And they receive a letter from Mickey, but we don't know what it says. So that's the end of the game.
That's the end of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah. During this
Wow.
game, Lingering Will is a secret boss fight.
I see.
Yeah.
And we don't...
He's in a secret portal in the Disney castle, but we don't know who he is yet because Birth by Sleep hasn't come out yet. But it has happened. So that's Kingdom Hearts 2.
Haha.
Uh-huh. But you might be thinking, hang on. Ansem Secret of Darkness is dead, and Xemnas is dead. What does that mean, Carmine?
Would that make Xehanort come back?
Yes.
But wait, if they're... Hold on.
Huh?
I thought when you first explained the rules of how Heartlesses and Nobodies worked, you said that when a person is taken over by the darkness, they split into a Heartless and a Nobody. If you beat the Heartless, the heart returns to the Nobody and they become the original person again. Is that not... Did I misunderstand that explanation?
You have to beat both the Heartless and the Nobody.
Oh, I thought it was just you beat the Heartless and then it goes back to the Nobody and becomes the whole person.
No, you have to beat both.
So now that they've beat both...
Now Master Xehanort is back. The old guy.
I see.
Right.
Where does young Xehanort come in?
Next game.
Yeah.
So Yensid is like, we need to get these Keyblade boys.
Wait.
What?
We're at an hour 46.
Yes.
Do we want to split this up into a part 2?
Nah, we'll speed through it.
Okay.
So Yensid is like, we need to train the boys. Get the boys. Put them in. Who's what?
Yensid?
Yensid, the guy from Fantasia.
The devil?
Big beard. No, big beard, wizard hat.
Oh, okay.
He's like big, powerful Yensid, King Mickey's master.
He wants to train Riku and Sora?
Yeah, with the Keyblade exam, which is what Aqua and Terra had all those years ago.
Okay.
This is when we get the whole 7 versus 13 thing. They figure it out. So...
Oh, what the plan was?
Yes.
Okay.
So they go off. Sora, Donald, and Goofy.
They have their
another game.
training arc.
Kingdom Hearts 3D. Dream Drop Distance.
Okay.
Because it was on the 3DS.
So this game is just a big training arc?
Yeah.
Okay.
So hang on, let me get the plot up. I never actually... This is where I didn't play this. Because it was on a console I didn't have.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts 3D. Okay. So this is all about their training exam. Basically, they need to get, new abilities.
Right.
They are sent to worlds that are, destroyed by the Heartless in the original game. Remember, all the stars are going out.
Still there?
Yeah, they're just in, a sleeping state.
Okay. Why is everything still darkness?
'Cause darkness is eternal, my friend.
Okay. So there's no, fixing this problem?
No, you just have to keep a balance.
Okay.
Can't have it be entirely light. You can't have light without darkness.
Fine.
Yeah. So, The test is go and save all of these worlds, and then they do. But they encounter a young grey-haired man who is accompanied by Xemnas and Ansem.
But I thought they were gone.
They're not. They're back for some reason.
Damn it.
Because this is where time travel comes in.
No!
This young grey-haired guy is young Xehanort.
Fuck!
A young version of Master Xehanort who is time traveling with a special time travel keyblade.
So this guy is from before the prequel series of events?
Yes.
Fuck me.
Pre-prequel.
Alright.
So they do the exam, they arrive at the world that never was, somehow. Because it's a trap. Because young Xehanort set a trap.
Okay.
They place Sora into a deep sleep. Sora's heart gets swallowed by darkness, but
Again.
Ventus's armor protects it.
Why didn't it do that the first time?
Because we didn't know about Ventus yet.
Because he wasn't written yet.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just continuity errors because the character wasn't existent yet.
Pretty much.
Alright, fine.
Whatever you want to call them. Continuity errors, like stuff we didn't know about, whatever.
Because for all intents and purposes, that should have happened the first time, right?
It could have. Maybe.
Alright.
Maybe. But not in that situation. This is a different situation.
What?
So,
Alright, fine.
Master Xehanort is back, and he's assembling versions of himself in different vessels to basically become the new Organization 13.
Oh, so this is where you said there are 13 Xehanorts.
Kind of. So there's Xehanort, Master Xehanort. There's Xigbar, who is like becoming a vessel of Xehanort. Syax is there. He's also a vessel of Xehanort. Vanitas is there. Young Xehanort. Ansem, Xemnas. Like basically just versions of himself.
Including some that were other characters but are now him.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then Mickey Mouse comes in and saves the day. So he intends to, like, make Sora the final host as, like, the 13th, like, darkness. But Mickey stops it. And so does Lee, the human form of Axel.
Oh.
He's back.
Why?
Memory got.
Why?
He's a good guy.
Oh, because I guess when Axel
died.
sacrificed himself,
Yeah.
it made Lee again?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So, and Lee can do Keyblade stuff as well.
Sure, why not?
Because sure, why not? No, it's Xehanort, not sure, why not. Xehanort and all of the new Xehanorts fade away. And
It's so stupid, it's so stupid.
yeah. But then Riku comes in and just, like, saves Sora from being asleep. Like, wakes him up. He meets, like, a virtual copy of Ansem the Wise, who gives him, like, research data that he'd left inside Sora's heart during the events of, like, the Sora rebuild.
Okay.
So he, like, created a little robot version of himself, put it in Sora, just in case he were to die by exploding laser.
Yeah.
Just in case.
If you're watching this, I've exploded due to laser.
Here I am in Sora now.
Yeah.
So Riku returns to the Realm of Light. He's got Sora, and everything's good. Sora fails the exam. Riku passes.
Okay.
And then they put Lee on the Keyblade course. Sora's like, I'm going to become better. And then they decide to train Kairi up as a Keyblade wielder.
Oh.
And that's the end of that game.
Okay.
So he's in a really bad way now, Sora is.
What do you mean he's in a bad way? Like mentally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, he's lost his groove. He doesn't have any of his abilities. Like, he got really fucked up at the end of 3D.
Okay.
So he goes off to Olympus, and he sees Hercules.
Yeah.
This is Kingdom Hearts 2.9.
I didn't realize this was a game.
It's not. It's the prologue to Kingdom Hearts 3 that is in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh. So it's just like a series of cutscenes?
No, you play it.
Okay.
It's weird. Riku and King Mickey go off and find Aqua, who is, like, still in the Realm of Darkness. They have to go and find her to be a hero.
So, why is it Why is it some people get stuck in the realm of darkness, but Riku and Mickey just seem to be able to go in and out as they please? Or is that
so
also...
then Kingdom Hearts 3 happens. The mission is find Ventus, but you can't find Ventus because you need Aqua. Aqua's the only one who knows where he is.
So, wait, hold on, wait. You gotta do that one a little bit slower. What?
The plan is, the real Organization 13 is formed, right?
Wow, how? What?
All of the darkness, all of the dark people that we've been talking about, all the villains.
But they've all been beaten.
No, they're back now.
God damn it.
They fade into obscurity to reform.
These are the Xehanorts?
Become big and strong. Yeah, the Xehanorts.
Okay.
Yeah. So then now Yensid is like, oh, we need all hands on deck.
Sure.
Where is Ventus? Everyone's like, who? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, only Aqua knows where Ventus is.
So nobody knows that Ventus is in Sora?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So then they have to go and find Aqua, which is where Riku and King Mickey go.
They just happen to know she's in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Kingdom Hearts 3 happens.
Right.
All of the past members of the organization that were killed come back in this game to, combat you, much in the same way that they did in their original games.
So these are the original 13, not the Xehanorts?
No, these are the Xehanorts.
Oh, okay.
Like, Vanitas is in the Monsters Inc. world, Marluxia's in the Tangled world, Larxene is in Frozen.
Alright.
Yeah. Some of these Xehanorts are previous organization members.
Right. They're the old bodies that he's inserted himself into.
Yes.
Right, okay, fine.
So, Marluxia is now part Xehanort, Larxene is part Xehanort,
Sure.
etc., etc.
Alright.
So, they fulfill the antagonist roles in Kingdom Hearts 3. They find out about the artificial human program, which is where the Riku replica and Shion come from.
Yeah.
And then Sora's like, hey, why don't we get a replica to make Roxas come back? Because at this point, Roxas and Ventus are two separate characters.
Why? What?
Ansem the Heartless is still around in the Realm of Darkness, where he kidnaps a real Ansem and attacks Aqua. She becomes, like, Xehanorted for a little while, rescued by Vexen, who is a double agent within the organization. Mickey Mouse shows up with Riku, and they save Aqua, thanks to Master Ericus's Keyblade.
Where did
which
that
they
come
just
from?
found. They just found it.
Okay.
It was just in Destiny Islands, they just found it.
Alright.
So Aqua's back, and then they're like, let's go find Ventus. And then they find Ventus and they wake him up.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to the final big old battle time.
Yeah.
You're already thinking, where's Terra?
Yeah.
Well, he's still possessed by Xehanort.
What about the suit?
The suit is there,
Okay.
and he, like, goes and fights him, and he's like, I want my body back.
Yeah.
And so then they fight. Eventually... Oh, we're forgetting about the bit where Sora, like, fails the first time, and he, like, goes into, like, a dream world. Where
Fails
he gets
what?
all his ability. Fails fighting Terra Xehanort.
Uh-huh, and he goes into a
And he
dream world.
Goes in a dream world, gets his abilities, comes back. Terra's willpower is enough to stop the same thing happening again. Terra's restored. Joins Ventus and Aqua. It's very emotional because they haven't seen each other in like 12 years.
Sure.
And then they eventually battle through all of the old Xehanort husks, and then they have to go and fight Master Xehanort. Evil Xehanort destroys Kairi, who has been training with a Keyblade, but did fuck all still.
Right.
Sora just goes fucking ape. Gets the X-Blade.
Why? How? What?
He does it.
Huh.
He just does it.
Alright.
And then they all join together, all the forces of all the Keyblade wielders ever to exist, all join Sora, and they fight Xehanort. And Ericus comes back and is like, please stop being a dickhead. And Xehanort's like, oh, fine. And then he dies.
Who
And then
dies?
Kingdom Hearts is safe, and everything's good.
Really?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
I'm tired. I'm done at this point. Like, whatever. We shouldn't have done this in one episode. Like, whatever, man.
And then another game happens?
Yeah, Melody of Memory.
In the quickest ways. What happens there?
Some bullshit. I haven't played it yet. I don't know.
Kyrie
does
okay.
Stuff. Kyrie is like a rhythm game.
Wow. Even when it makes sense, it doesn't make sense.
What are some questions you have now?
What's up with this artificial Roxas?
They get an artificial body and then they put Roxas in it.
But what happened to Roxas in the second game?
He went into Sora.
So now they just pluck him out and put him in a robot?
Yeah.
Okay. Ventus then went into his own sleeping body.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought we established that Sora can't exist without all the components. So how does Sora still exist?
Because he's Sora. He's the main character.
Because now he has to.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a lot of issues.
What are you talking about? It's a seamless narrative.
So you alluded to the fact that you have some gripes with the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, they try and redeem Xehanort.
How?
By basically him being like, I was just a misguided scientist.
Yeah, that's a load of shit.
Nah, you destroyed multiple people's lives over the course of like 2 decades.
Intentionally, a lot of times.
But it was in the aid of science.
The bullshit!
Yeah, right?
He literally said, I want to start a war to see if I can do it good.
Yeah.
Wow. That sucks.
It's great. Because you get Mulan and other shit.
Toy Story?
Yeah, that's a world in number 3.
My guess is no one's ever loved you before.
That's dope. Yeah. Like, you have all of these, like, self-contained, like, movie stories in the world, and then a version of Xehanort comes in, and it's just like, darkness, hearts, and keyblades, and then all of the residents of the movie are just like, who are you? Shut the fuck up. We don't care.
I like the...
Give me back Buzz Lightyear.
I've seen one cutscene in, like, the Pirates of the Caribbean world, where, like, I don't know which one of the Xehanorts, but one of them is talking to Jack Sparrow, and then he just, like, gets real close to him, and I guess his breath just stinks, and the Xehanort falls off a boat and dies.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
It's the best.
Like, it's the best in a dumb way.
Uh-huh.
God, there's so much to unpack with this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything
we
to do with
a lot of it.
Everything to do with Ansem/Diz just seems unnecessary.
Nah, it's totally necessary.
Because he really doesn't seem to matter.
He matters a lot.
In the sense that things happen because he existed at one point, but as far as, like, him ever coming back, it feels like that wasn't necessary.
Giant laser.
Which did nothing but kill him!
No, it put a hole in the heart.
What heart?
The fake heart.
The fake battery?
Yeah.
What did that end up
properly.
mattering, by the way?
It got destroyed.
Was anything going to happen if it didn't?
Xemnas wanted to use it to, like, give all of the organization members hearts.
Which would have done what?
Made them more powerful.
Okay. Why was that necessary if all he needed was 13 bad and 7 good?
Because we weren't at that point in the story yet.
Ah, more continuity errors.
Not errors, just timeline issues.
Oh, boy. Why does Kyrie exist?
No one knows the answer to that. She is fucking useless.
What happened? Okay, where do they all go at the end of this?
We don't know. No other games have been released yet.
So what's up with... Sora ends up in Shibuya.
Yeah.
What? How?
I don't know.
But it's in 3, right?
Yeah. Secret ending. Secret final boss.
Who's
He
that?
fights someone who looks like Riku.
Oh, God.
His name is Yozora. Because I think, You remember Final Fantasy Versus 13?
No.
The game that eventually became Final Fantasy 15?
Sure.
With all the edgelords and everything?
Sure.
Tetsuya Nomura is really butthurt that he didn't get to make that game, so I think he's basically taking Kingdom Hearts and turning it into that game.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird. Even by Kingdom Hearts standards, it's weird.
Yeah, that doesn't. So, you beat this not Riku Final Fantasy character, and then what? He just teleports?
Something happens, I don't know.
So now he's in the quote-unquote real world.
I don't think so. I think that was just like a dream.
Oh my god. I feel like I'm going insane.
This is what happens when you try and condense 12, 13, 14 games into 2 hours.
Wow.
Released over the course of like 20 years.
Yeah.
Told by an unreliable narrator who is only half sure.
What game was it where all that prequel shit with the original Xehanort and not Xemnas, fucking Ventus and Aqua and Terra, what game was that when that happened?
That was game number 6.
Fucking shit. Alright. I don't think my brain has room for any more of this.
There's a lot that we didn't talk about.
Maybe we'll do, like, later, not next episode, at some point we'll do, like, a supplemental, here's the info we didn't cover.
Yeah.
But I can't do it now.
No. So what do you think about Kingdom Hearts? Does it make you any more keen to play it?
There's a quote from the games that I feel like summarizes this really well.
Here we go.
That's stupid!
I don't think so. I think it's endearing.
Endearing?
Yeah, I think it's funny.
I suppose,
I think it's
but the
hilarious.
game, I get why you say that. Like, if you don't take it seriously, right? Like, I get that.
Despite all of the fucking, like, convoluted shit that happens, because it's not simple at all, it's entirely overcomplicated at every single stage, there is a sentimental attachment that you have to these characters, and these stories, and these people and their relationships.
Maybe
you can
someday,
get properly invested in it.
There's those re-release packages, right? Where it's like...
Yeah, they finally released it on Microsoft consoles, so that's good for you.
Maybe someday I'll try and play those, because they contain the cutscenes from the non-mainline games that...
Yeah, they turn some of the games into cutscene, like, movie experiences, which is fine.
So that you can bridge the gap.
Yeah.
Maybe someday...
For that, you would need the one where it's like the story so far, I think that's what it's called. And then you need free, and then you need the free DLC, which is called Remind.
Whoa.
You have to remind yourself, got memory.
Sure.
You don't sound like you enjoyed this at any point.
No, I definitely did. It's just so much information.
Again, it's not like a light novel. It's like 13 different games over the course of 20 years across that many platforms as well.
Like, I knew Kingdom Hearts' story was convoluted and complex.
Yeah.
But finally hearing how many layers there are to this that just go so deep and, like, throughout time.
I mean, we're not even talking about, like, the coded games, or the browser games, or the mobile games, or the rhythm game.
And those also affect the plot.
Yes.
God, we're gonna have to do a second episode of this, and I can't believe that.
Probably, yes. Because I know there's going to be people who listen to this that are familiar with Kingdom Hearts being like, you did it wrong, you told it wrong, you got this wrong.
Tell you what, folks.
Like, yes.
Tell you what, folks.
I'm well aware.
Why don't you, and I mean this genuinely, not sarcastically, why don't you
fucking learn? Why don't you read a book?
Why don't you send us an email? You can send an email to bitterchatterpodcast@gmail.com. You can send us a message on 2 different socials, on Twitter and Instagram. It's @bitterchatpod. You can send it to us on the Discord server, and that's Bitter Chatter's Chatter. There's a link to it in the YouTube video version of this episode. You can also buy merch. That's not related to giving us information, but you can buy merch. That's redbubble.com/people/bitterchatpod. We also have personal socials. I don't recommend sending us the information through there, but you could, I guess. Brooks, what are your socials?
You will find me on Twitter and TikTok under the name of Strayborn. Please, spam me with Kingdom Hearts things. Tell me how wrong I've been this whole episode.
And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at @thatguy_Carmine. Feel free to send me out-of-context Kingdom Hearts things that are stupid. I love that. This has been quite the experience that I don't think I'll ever fully recover from.
Recover? My God. Check out the Discord server in the memes channel. There's an image in there which I think is a summary of how you feel.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at this right the fuck now. In the memes channel, you said?
In the memes channel.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready to look at that image with my eyeballs, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's basically it. Ladies and gentlemen.
What is he talking about? Go to the server and find out.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have been reduced to a nobody, I think.
So who's the Heartless?
Is it you?
No, I think I'd be a nobody.
What the fuck am I?
You are an idiot.
And that's it. That's everybody. Yeah, that's it. Go home, folks. We're done here.
There he is, folks.
There he is, folks.
There he is, folks.
Keyblade.
Keyblade. Shut up!
That's how I feel by the end of this. Just shut up!
Yeah.
Make it stop!
No. Forever Kingdom Hearts.
There's like 6 more games to cover. We're recording this bit after the fact because we forgot to say it before, but Bitter Chatter will, from this point until New Year's, be going on a little hiatus just to take a holiday break. And then we will be coming back January 7th with some best of material. And we will be putting out one on the 7th and one on the 21st to kind of help you guys get through January because due to our schedules, we're not going to be able to record during January. So we're going to take the rest of this month and January off, but there will still be episodes in January. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought you had it all figured out.
This episode is the last one for December, and then we'll get best ofs in January.
And then in February,
we'll come back with new stuff.
We'll re-look at the Kingdom Hearts shit.
Yeah, I guess so, because there's so much more to cover.
Hey, there's going to be a lot of reading time in the next 2 months, so...
Yeah, it gives you time to pick up whatever we didn't cover.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go through the books and all the tomes and figure out what I missed.
Oh, wait, was books a joke?
Yeah.
Okay, God, Jesus, I thought there were fucking actual books.
Well, there are.
No!
But they're not important, they just tell you what you already know.
Oh, okay, like novelizations of the games?
Yeah, and manga.
Manga?
Yeah, it has its own separate story.
Oh, God, okay.
But it's not canon, so...
I guess we'll get to this in February. But yeah, we just want to let you guys know, this is the last episode for December, and then in January, you're getting bi-weekly best ofs to help you get through January, and then we'll be back with actual shit, new shit, in February.
You're gonna love it.
You're gonna love my nuts.
It's gonna be okay. Everybody hold hands as we go through the new year together.
Yes, and that's that. So, we will see you then.
I'm trying to think of a Kingdom Hearts fucking joke, but it's not coming to me. We'll fill the hole in your heart.
In the darkness
of December.
That's what this is. It's Darkness December.
And then it's Remind January.
Yeah, there's no J thing for Kingdom Hearts, I don't think.
And then it's Got Memory February.
Got Memory February.
Memory February.
it sound right, boy.